The hidden cost of freedom, the black mile, and the fight for justice. Since 1940, the United States has spent a staggering $27.8 trillion on defense. That's a monumental investment in freedom, security, and global stability. But what happens when other nations exploit the cracks in that foundation, weaponizing fear, lies, and death? Welcome to the darker side of the fight for freedom, where the cost is measured not just in dollars, but in lives and truths lost. Let's start with the Black Mile, a place in occupied Russia so feared that locals say, if you go there, you never come back. It's a grim reflection of a regime that silences dissent through terror. Across the border near Pokrovsk, Ukraine, Russian soldiers, many of them teenagers, await their fate in graveyards, staring at the skies as drones close in. Their life expectancy? 2 weeks in active zones, for weeks in less volatile regions. They are underpaid, disrespected, and discarded, their deaths fueling a war they never chose. The $27.8 trillion spent by the US over 8 decades was meant to deter exactly this kind of aggression. Yet Russia's reach extends beyond Ukraine, infiltrating places like Georgia, where elections have become a farce orchestrated by Moscow's dream team. Imagine waking up in a country where politicians vanish without a trace, human rights crumble overnight, and torture chambers await dissenters. Georgia is on the brink of becoming another Belarus, a dictatorship where hope is systematically extinguished. It's a stark reminder for democracies everywhere, especially the United States. This fight isn't just theirs, it's ours. Propaganda is another battlefield. In a recent interview, Zelensky was falsely portrayed as softening his stance on territorial concessions. The truth? He called such plans fantasies. These lies, amplified by billionaire-controlled media, manipulate public perception and undermine the pursuit of justice. While misinformation costs little to spread, its impact on global stability is devastating. The roots of this conflict can be traced back to the Budapest Memorandum. Signed in 1994, it was supposed to guarantee Ukraine's sovereignty in exchange for surrendering its nuclear weapons. Instead, it gave Russia time to prepare for the atrocities we witness today. This betrayal underscores a harsh reality: promises mean nothing without the enforcement of justice. If we've learned anything from history, it's that injustice, left unchecked, festers. World War I wasn't a victory, it was a ceasefire that set the stage for an even deadlier conflict 20 years later. Today, we face a similar crossroads. Do we allow autocrats to dictate the future, or do we uphold the principles of freedom and justice that $27.8 trillion was meant to defend? Justice for Ukraine is non-negotiable. Russia must leave Ukrainian soil, pay restitution, and face decades of sanctions. War criminals must be held accountable. This isn't just about punishing aggression, it's about safeguarding a future where freedom isn't just an ideal, but a reality. Freedom has a price. Since 1940, that price has been $27.8 trillion for the US alone. But the cost of ignoring injustice? Priceless and catastrophic. If we want peace, we must work for justice. This isn't just Ukraine's fight, it's ours. In closing for this segment of the hidden cost of freedom, remember: freedom costs. Justice is priceless. Together, we can ensure both are worth the sacrifice. Hugs.